Even if you only buy digital games, watch this video. So we all know that Sony is ditching physical games on the PlayStation 6, and that really sucks even if you are a digital-only player or someone who mostly buys digital games, and I'm gonna explain why here. Like, whether you realize it or not, physical games do contribute to digital games getting more sales and getting lower in price. Because right now, for Xbox, for Nintendo, for PlayStation, it's not a monopoly. It's not like you have to go to their storefront to buy games. Like for Nintendo, let's say they charge $60 for Breath of the Wild, which is a 9-year-old game. But if you don't want to pay that $60, you can try and borrow it from a friend. You can try and find a used copy. You can go to a store. And I guarantee with 100% certainty, you can find Breath of the Wild for under $60, probably under $40. So since there's that physical copy, it's competing with the digital version. So these companies know this, so sometimes they might have more deals or they might have sales because they want people to buy the digital copies because they make more money from it. And since they know there's the used market, they know that there's retailers, they have to compete with that. But without physical games, why do they have to have any sales? Like, yeah, like maybe the game flops or sales slow down, so they'll have some sales eventually, but they'll be less frequent and the sales probably won't be as good. And they'll have a monopoly. They can charge whatever they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's no other way to get those games. Now, I don't think people are evil for buying digital games. I know some people shame people who buy digital games, and I don't agree with that. I think there's reasons to get digital games. If you're not someone who's like a hardcore gamer who plays games casually or doesn't care about owning physical games, like you don't care about collecting them, that's perfectly fine. Most of my friends don't actually care about buying the physical games, including the ones that are big into gaming. But that being said, physical games are still incredibly important. And even if you're someone who doesn't care about collecting, you don't care about game preservation, you don't care about being able to put the disc in the console, or whatever other reasons people buy physical games, what if there's a game you want to play that gets delisted someday? We've seen it with the 3DS and the Wii U eShop and the Wii Shop. There's plenty of games on those that you cannot play officially anymore. Now imagine every single game on those systems is unplayable now. Like someday the PlayStation 6 storefront is going to shut down. Might not be for 30 years from now, might not be even 40 years from now. Whenever it happens, every single game on that platform will have no official ways to play it unless something changes in the future. Like, the 3DS is one I want to talk more about. Like, I love the 3DS. It is one of my favorite consoles. I have so many games for it. There's a lot of great digital games on that system that are just lost now. Like, yeah, you can still play it if you mod your 3DS. So it's not like they're just true lost media. But a lot of people, especially people who are more casual players, aren't going to do that. And I don't think they should be shamed for not knowing how to mod a 3DS. A lot of people also just want to play their games officially. And it's a lot easier to just put a cartridge in a console than have to mod your 3DS or have to do some things they may not be comfortable with. So luckily, most of the big games on 3DS have physical copies, like your Marios, your Zeldas, your Pokemons. But there's plenty of games like the Pushmo series, like the Box Boy series, like Rusty's Real Deal Baseball. Games like this that you cannot play anymore. And it's sad because, like, what if a kid sees gameplay of one of these games and wants to play it, and then they just realize they're out of luck? Like, there's no way they can even buy a physical copy of it. Like, to me, that's one of the most important things about physical media. And we've seen it, even without storefronts shutting down, like Deadpool, for example. It's on a few platforms, but the game has been delisted. So yes, it's expensive to buy a copy of this game, but it still does exist. Like Mario and Sonic Olympic Games 2020. Like, that's a Mario game. It's not like a niche game. And that's been delisted, but since there's physical copies, you can still get it. So I feel like that's something that's just very underrated when it comes to the importance of physical media. Because even if you like the convenience of digital games, don't you still at least want the option someday if this game that gets delisted or if a storefront just goes down? Like, don't you want to be able to play that? Another thing is just being able to discover a game. Like, going into a store and seeing a game that you think looks interesting and picking it up. Like, yeah, there's technically going to be, like, codes in boxes, but I feel like that's going to be, like, less and less common. Plus, it also sucks to just buy a game and then realize that it's just a digital code and instead of putting in the disc or the cartridge. But I remember when I was a kid and I would go to GameStop or I would go to whatever game store and just look around, like, see the different box art, see the different games that were around, and see what games I was interested in getting. Like, I love the feeling of just buying that game, being able to open the case, being able to put it in the console. Like, it just felt so much better than just buying a digital game. Like, I so rarely buy digital games, but when I do, I don't know, I've always just felt less incentive to play it. I feel worse about my purchase just because it's not something like a physical thing that I own. Plus, it just loses some of that magic. Some of my favorite memories as a kid was putting a game in the console for the first time. Like, when I got my Nintendo Switch, I was 14 years old, and one of the best feelings was just getting the actual Breath of the Wild cartridge. Or when I was even younger, going to a store and buying Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, one of the first games I got around when it launched. I think I actually might have got it on launch day. And also just carrying around, like, the cartridges for games. Like, I used to bring my DS everywhere I could, and in my case, I just had the cartridges there, so sometimes I just look around and see what I wanted to play. I feel like there's something a lot more magical about that than just scrolling through, looking at different game icons to pick what you want to play. And I know I've went a little off topic, because if you buy digital games, this is not something that's going to affect you, especially if you're an adult now, where the magic of life is kind of worn off. It's still something I'd like to be preserved for younger generations. Like for my generation, even the generation after me, Gen Alpha, like they kind of grew up in a more digital age, but I know a lot of them still do buy physical games. I know a lot of parents who grew up playing games probably enjoy giving their kids these games as gifts. And for the past 40-something years, 40, 50 years, since home consoles have become mainstream, it's been a shared experience. And I'm sure all of you watching this video can at some point remember like being ecstatic because you got a physical game. And even if it's something you don't personally care about now, like think about people who will care about it. So the point of this video isn't to say, if you buy digital games, you must buy physical games. I have no problem with people buying digital games. The main point I want to make is that I want you to understand why people buy physical games, like for a variety of reasons. It's whether it's because someone likes to actually have a tangible item, whether it's because they like the feeling of just opening up a game, whether it's because they want to give games to their kids and not just give them digital download codes, whether it's because they want game preservation, whether it's because they want to save money on games, whether it's because they want to give these games to friends. There's so many different reasons for physical games to be around, but I think the most important one that I've talked about is simply that it stops the monopoly. It means you have an alternate way to get these games instead of paying the prices they want you to pay, and in turn that can lower the price of digital games. Also, I just want to say, if you're mostly buying digital games, unless you're on Switch 2, there's really not much of a reason to have a console at this point, especially with prices going up. Like, yeah, with the PS5 and Series X, it made sense because they both launched at $500. But with the next consoles presumably launching over $1,000, my recommendation at that point would just be get a PC because you'll save money anyway. But again, that's up to what you want to do. So let me know your thoughts on this. If you buy digital games, tell me what you think about this. Do you still want physical games to be around for any of the reasons I've said? For people who buy physical games, do you agree with what I've been saying? Let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe.